In this video, I'm going to show you how to create an explosion from multiple particles using Tyflow. First, what you'll need to do, if you haven't already, is download and install Tyflow. Once that is installed, you'll need to go to your Create panel, and under your Objects type, you should have an object for Tyflow. So we go back to here, Tyflow, and that's where you'll draw the Tyflow icon in there. What you'll also need to do is go to the helper and select Tyflow here and draw a Tyflow icon. So that's basically just where our particles will be coming in and exploding on the bottom here. That's the plane, you can say. Now, selecting back on this one and the modifier, open editor. So this will bring up the Tyflow box and editor so that we can begin to place everything that we need. So first we'll need to start with the birth, so the amount of particles we want to have coming up and down. So I'm going to do 100 of each, pop that in there, and then we want to get a position icon as well. So the position icon we'll need to pick, and then selecting this tie icon we drew earlier. It will then show up in here, so that it's selected, and that's where our particles will begin to form as seen there. What we'll need to do next is add some speed. So dragging the speed in here, and you can select the direction of your particles. So you can go along the arrow, Z, Y, depending on what you're after. For my case, I'm going to do along the particle Z, so going up. So you'll be able to see here, they're going up, whereas if I hit reverse, they'd obviously go down. I'm going to also change the magnitude, so how far up they go, to 15, because I want them to go quite high. As you can see here, they're going quite high there, you can see. Now next we're going to add a shape, because we want to make it a 3D shape so that we can see the explosion a bit clearer. So along the bottom here, just looking for shape, here we go, pop that in underneath speed. And if you scroll down, you'll be able to select 2D and 3D model. So selecting 3D model, you've got a whole range here to select from. So for now we'll select a cube, and we can come back and experiment with other ones that are there in a moment. Now you won't see any changes yet, it's still the 2D little particle dots. That's because you need to go into display and change the display type to geometry. And as you can see, that's changed them to their 3D blocks. Now this is going a bit fast at the moment, so we can slow that down. So we go down to here, we can pop it 5, and go down to the bottom a bit more. What we can also do is that we can change the size of the shape. So they are a bit small, I do want them to appear a bit bigger. So if we go back to shapes and scroll down, scale, here we go. So under size we have scale. I'm going to scale it up to 300. That's better, so that we can see the bigger blocks. And if you do want more, so again you can change this to say 150 if you want, and that will do more there. So you can play around with it and see what you're wanting, but at the moment they're not exploding, they're just going straight up. So changing that back to 100. What we'll need to do next is add the physics shape, so that will help with the explosion and the bounce of it back to the bottom. So popping that in there. And then we'll also need a fracture, so just in here underneath again. Now, if we hit play, you should start to see that they're fracturing in. And what we can do, going back to speed, is play around with a bit. So if we want it a bit shorter, we can change that to 10. And again, it will half the height there, but like it taller, so back to 15, and that's where you can see it goes a bit higher. Now, if we change this one down here, the digress, to maybe 10, so it's just about playing around with it and seeing what you like. that's going up and breaking back down. So I like the look of that. Coming up and breaking into those particles there. If we wanted to change the shape, what we can do, go back to shape, scroll down, go to cube, and let's do a cone. So maybe it looks a bit like rain going the opposite way. So we can do that, and then it's coming back down. And then again, if we wanted to scale that up, so we'll go 500 for example, and it's sort of cones coming up and going back down. You can see that explosion there. What you can also do under the fracture shape is go to the bounce and friction. So this will control the bounce when it's coming back down. So if we change that up a bit higher, let's see how that does, and hit play. They bounce a bit more, having more breakups between that. So if we change that down maybe a bit, let's go around there, change the shape again, change the scale back down to say 300 so it's not overly big, and then we can change the shape to back to a cube is what we want. To a cube there. We've got our births, we've got 100. If we wanted to change that, you can go 50. See how that looks. And that would bounce through there. So let's say we're all happy with that. We've done the positioning, the speeds where we want it to be. What we would do now, we would close this one down, open this up, and hit play from the beginning. And as you can see, you've got your cubes flying up, and then when they come back down, they're being broken and exploding into little pieces along the bottom of the Tyflow icon. Thanks for watching. That's it for today. Bye.